How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just so that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20, and it's ridiculous, but the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. And while I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I truly just, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when all of us right here are struggling. It's changed the people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty. People aren't putting up with toxic bosses anymore. You're either going to treat me right or I'm going to leave, because there's tons of companies that are hiring because nobody can find help. People just don't trust the system anymore, and they're starting to focus on what matters the most. Most people are out here making more money than they ever have and realizing that it's not going anywhere, so they're just not spending it. And what has made a lot of people turn their back on the system is that now they somehow either make too much or not enough money to qualify for the government assistance that they've been paying into their entire life. There are people out there who can't afford to buy the groceries, but they make too much money to get the food stamps. A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done on their own and that they don't need the government to hold their hand. So to go back to your question, how are people making it? Financially, I don't really know, but I'm very grateful that people are starting to look for answers.
Hi, this is just to remind you that 60% of Americans, which is the majority of Americans, are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're in a position to help someone, when they come up to you and they are in a dire situation and looking for a little bit of cash to help them through their day, just give it to them. Because at some point that could be you, unless you're extremely lucky and privileged in relativity to the actual situation going on in the United States.
Is an $80,000 salary enough money to live comfortably in the United States? Typically what happens is that as people make more money, they want nicer things, they want better experiences, they want to see better restaurants, and that's what you call lifestyle inflation. You're spending more money than you actually have. Just because your paycheck is increasing doesn't mean that your habit should increase. There are plenty of reasons why somebody might live paycheck to paycheck. This one is the most common. After high school or college, you had to move the fuck out quickly. You didn't have the luxury to stay at your parents' house and build up a nest egg. Some people are able to stay at home and save $10, $20, $50,000 before ever moving out. They don't even get charged rent at home. You are able to get ahead of everyone else. Realistically, if you are living paycheck to paycheck and you're making $80,000 to $100,000 or more, it's probably because of your spending habits. People don't like to hear that, but that's what it is. If you quite literally take 1 month, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and just don't do shit, don't eat out as often, don't go out and spend unnecessary money on drinks, and don't buy bullshit, you can put yourself ahead probably 2 to 3 months. People don't like to hear that, but making anywhere from 80 to 6 figures, $100,000, you shouldn't really be living paycheck to paycheck.
Am I the only one who feels like I will never stop living paycheck to paycheck? The economy we live in is trash. The jobs we work for are trash. They pay you the bare minimum, but want you to show up and give your 110%. How does that work? These houses, they want you to pay $1,000+ for rent, and they're 1980 houses. You gotta have a deposit, last month's rent, first month's rent. Like, why do I need to pay last month's rent? I don't understand that. car insurance, car payments, they're rip-offs. Why am I paying $300 for car insurance? I don't understand. Health insurance, skyrocket. Food, skyrocket. Like, I just don't understand how I will ever be able to afford to wake up and go hop on a plane and enjoy my best life. I just don't understand. By the time my kids get to adulthood, they're gonna have to pay to open the door to walk out of their own house. I really, really, really rather be a cockroach crawling on the ground for free than have to live this life every day. Like, I can't be the only one who feels this way. Like, I need to know, y'all that get to wake up and take trips and go across country and do $100 shopping sprees at Target every single day, what are you doing? What's the secret to life? What is the secret recipe that you have that we don't have? Let us know.
It is impossible to save right now. This is coming from somebody who's a really good saver. The fact that I have done less this year and yet I still have nothing to save is wild to me. I don't go out to eat, I don't get drinks. This is the least I've ever traveled. Shopping sprees are very far and few between. Also, I'm spending less money on rent, and yet every single one of my paychecks is going towards some sort of bill, an adult related thing I don't want to pay for, like insurance, my car repair, maintenance on my HVAC. I mean, I feel like the list is endless. Long story short, everything costs too much. There's so many hidden fees, so unless you ask for an itemized report of what exactly you've been charged for, you're probably paying more than you're actually supposed to. Companies want to pay you less, the cost of living is rising. As an example, the way that I used to make $3,000 a month when I graduated college, and yet I was still able to save about $1,000 a month, I can't do that anymore. Ways that I could stretch $100 when I was in college does not go far now. Honestly, if you can, move home with your parents. Pick up a side job. It's only gonna get worse before it gets better. What really enrages me is when the economy is up, the prices go up, and then they never come down. And even when the economy is not doing good, those prices never come down. And guess who suffers? All of us. If anyone has a good side hustle that doesn't take money to start, let me know, because I think we are all struggling and it would be really helpful. Bye.
I need to know where my broke bitch is at, okay? Because I made a video about credit card debt, and there's so many comments on there talking about how people have like $20,000, $15,000 credit cards, and they don't have to charge on it. I have a savings account with no money in it. I have a credit card that stays maxed out, and every time I'm not saying this is good, but this is reality. This is real life. And it's a lot of people's reality, okay? I can't be the only bitch out here living paycheck to paycheck.
Most people are maxing out their credit cards. Most people do not have much of a savings. Most people are bombarded by their bills, by their utilities, by everything else that they owe, their student loans, medical bills. Most people do not make enough at their job. Most people don't have enough of a raise every single year to keep up with the cost of living. Most people cannot afford their housing because rent is through the roof, or because their mortgages are astronomical, or their insurance payments are going up and they're finding it hard to keep up. HOAs are going up. Everything is going up, but it's going up at a much higher rate than it used to. And then groceries is a huge bill for people every single month. And the fact that you can't even just go and get normal healthy food anymore, and without it just kind of costing an arm and a leg, is ridiculous. And this is being seen across America all over the place. If you're not being frugal, if you're not shopping frugally, if you're not being frugal with your finances, with your spending habits, you're really feeling the punch. And nowadays, it's like you have to make over $100,000 in a household to be able to feel okay. And people are reporting that even when they make those amounts, those high amounts, that they're still not doing okay. It's crazy, because when I was growing up, I felt like only the elites would make like $100,000 a year. I mean, it seemed so far-fetched to be able to make that kind of an income. But nowadays, it's like, if you don't make that, you're struggling. And most people are struggling here in the United States of America. I really don't know how people are doing it. The cost of everything is just absolutely absurd, and I just don't know how people are doing it. And it's sad, because more and more people are not wanting to have families. They are regretting their purchases. They're regretting doing certain upgrades, and even, the vehicles that they have leased out, or vehicles that they've purchased that they have their vehicle payments on. They're regretting it, because it's like you can't even keep up. And so much of it is really a trap. The more things that we want, the more things that we spend our money on, the more things that we get in debt over, you're just trapping yourselves. You're staying in a trap, and a lot of it is self-inflicted because of debt that people incur or choices that they continue to make. And there's a lot that's not self-inflicted. There's a lot that it's just a byproduct of what's going on in society, but in the economy. But a lot of it is also by choice, and there's just a lot of choices being made out there keeping people in debt, and it's really sad.